Welcome everyone. With the recent GST reforms that has gripped the business across the nation, organizations are under the constant pressure to meet the GST compliances. In this video, we will watch how ERPNext helps the businesses to meet their tax obligation with ease and hassle-free and provide all the GST related reports in accordance with the GST law. Let us navigate into this presentation. So our title of the presentation is The Simple Steps to Automate the Indian GST in ERPNext. The objective of showing this video is how ERPNext helps us in automating the GST calculation in the documents like sales and the purchases invoice and other doc types. Similarly, it also assists in updating the GSTN numbers of customers and suppliers by sending the emails to their respective customers and the suppliers, and that how the customer and supplier will get an email and update their GSTN number, and automatically that will get captured into the ERPNext in the respective customer and the supplier. Similarly, it also helps to generate the GST compliant invoices. So that is how we can see one by one features in this video. Now, how we can set up the GST in ERPNext. So first step is the configuration of the chart of accounts. So I will navigate one step by step in the product also, so that we can correlate and make a relevance of this particular point-wise setup. So let's navigate into the product. So you can see here, this is a ERPNext homepage section. Now, whenever you create a new company with a country as in India, the system automatically creates some chart of accounts with respect to duties and taxes and with respect to the GST. So if I go to the chart of accounts here, so if you see here the chart of accounts, either I can go from the search bar or I can go from my accounting module. Okay, so if you see here in the chart of accounts, we have taxes like CGST, SGST, IGST. So all these taxes which has been there in their chart of accounts, the system automatically creates once we select the country. So if you see here, I have created input and output ledgers. For my purchases I have taken into the input, and for my sales I have taken the output. Okay, so this would be my common ledger which would be used for any multiple rates. Similarly, you can also create rate wise or tax rate wise chart of accounts, but since to make it more simple, I have just make it into the common chart of accounts by just creating input and output. Okay, so that is why, and I also can show you how we can create the same thing. So just create on edit of, I'm just clicking on edit, and you can see here I have created the input CGST with duties and taxes, and the tax type I have selected the tax, and the rate I have not selected because I am creating here a common tax which will be applicable for multiple rates. Okay, similarly you can create the multiple tax rate, but since I am just making it simple, I have created into a common tax ledger. So this is how we can create our taxes chart of accounts into the system. Okay, so this is the first step which we have seen as per our presentation. Now again I will just navigate into my presentation. So you can see here the first step what we have done is the configuration of chart of accounts. Then second thing what we have to do is the GST setting. Now again I will go into the GST setting. So if I go to the here, if I directly go into the search bar like GST settings, so that my GST settings will get opened. So that window will come here with the GST, and it will give me an information that is total addresses 10 and total addresses with GST is 7. It means 3 is still not been updated with the GST, because the compliances in the ERPNext is much more being dependent on the addresses document type. So it is to be very mandatory that we need to update all the addresses of supplier, customer and our company itself. Okay, so that's very important here. And you can see here I have just mapped my GST account like input CGST, input SGST, IGST. Similarly, output is CGST, SGST or IGST. Even I can create a common ledger also instead of input and output, and that is based upon your requirement. You can create the same thing. And the B2C limit, which is already been defined as 2,50,000. From here also you can see here send update GSTIN reminder. So if I just click on it, the mail will automatically shoot to all the customers and the suppliers, and they will get an email where each customer and supplier can just open that mail and click on that link and can update the GSTN number, and that GSTN number will automatically get fetched into our ERPNext. Okay, so that is the thing which we can do from ERPNext. So that is one of the what we can say is a unique feature of ERPNext, where you can say the GST reminders or the GST number update to your customers and the suppliers. Okay, so this is the GST setting which we have to do. So we have completed the second step. Now I again navigate into my presentation. So the second step we have seen, that is the GST settings, right? We have completed configuration of chart of accounts. We have completed GST setting. Now update your company and client addresses and the HSN codes. So it's very important here. So again, what you have to do, you have to update your addresses and the customers and the suppliers. So for that, we have a separate doc type. If you see here, addresses list. So if I opened at my addresses list, you can see all the addresses will come of my suppliers and my company itself. Okay, so if I open, let's say BPS here, so you can see here, I will be getting here the address title here. Okay, the address line 1, 2, the city. Okay, and most important, here you can see here the party GSTN, which you need to define here. So it's very important for GST related purpose or for the GST compliances. We need to update the addresses and the party GSTN, the state, and the automatic the state code would prepare here, and that we can link to our customer and our supplier. So in this way, you have to update the addresses of the customers and the suppliers, and even for your company. So that also is very important here. So if you see here, my company name is Software at Work, and for that I have updated my address with the party GST number and everything. So and the state. So in this way you have to update, and you can see I have linked that addresses to my company. So in this way we have to update our addresses and also the addresses of the customer and the supplier, which makes a distinguish and comply our GST calculation with respect to states. Okay, so that is very important that we need to update the addresses in the address doc type. Now again I will navigate into my presentation. So we have completed the third step, that is update your company and client address and also the HSN code. Now if you go to my atom list, if I go to my atom list, either I can go directly from here or I can directly jump into my stock module and can open this atom list. So if you see here, there are the two products. Let's say one of the Dell laptop which is there. Let's say this is the okay, and you can see here in this atom I need to update the HSN code. Okay, so I can just HSN code, I can just select it, what is the HSN code applicable as per the selection, or I can create my new HSN code also. Okay, so you can get an option create a new HSN code. Okay, so let's see if I selected one of these things HSN code, and also I have to define the tax template. So you can see I have also defined the tax template. So I will show you how we can create the tax template. Okay, so in this way I need to update the HSN code in the atom master. Similarly, I will be selecting other atom, let's say Lenovo, and I will just update the HSN code there also. So you just open it the product name as Lenovo, and we'll also select the HSN code. You can see here I already selected the HSN code. Okay, so it's very important. So I completed my updation of addresses of company and the suppliers and the customer address, and also I have mapped my HSN code into the atom master. So that is completed now. Then we have to create the atom tax template and the tax category. So it's very important here. The next step what we need to follow is the atom tax template. So if I go to my atom tax template list, you can see here I have created various rates of atom tax. So let's say input and output is there. If I just create, or sorry, if I just open my input GST 18%, so you can see here how I have created the same. So you can see I have just put it the name, and there I have mentioned the rates here, input SGST, CGST with 99 and 18%. Okay. Similarly, if you see here, let's say output GST 18%. So you can see here I selected a ledger. These are the chart of accounts. This is the chart of accounts which I have to select here. Okay. Now similarly, I can create a new tax rate. For example, let's say output GST, let's say 24%. Okay, or we can say as 12%. So what I will do, I will take a title or what are the title name I require it. Let's say output GST 12%. Okay, and then I will select here my chart of accounts. Let's say output is GST as 6%. Okay, and then I will add a row, and then I will select output SGST 6%, and then I will add a row output IGST 12%. So in this way I will create a multiple tax rates. Okay, so in this way, this is a way how we can create a multiple atom tax templates here. So you can see here output GST 12% has been created here. So similarly you can create different multiple tax rates. Now after this I have to create the tax category. So if you see here, I will be creating a tax category list, which you can see here. I just open from here the tax category list. So I will be creating two tax category to distinguish between the interstate and the intrastate. So if you see here, I have created two tax category. Let's say in state Maharashtra, since I am located in Maharashtra or my company is situated in Maharashtra, so I am creating in state Maharashtra, and the source state I have selected as a Maharashtra, and it is not an interstate, it is an intrastate, that is within the state. That is why I have not ticked this checkbox. Okay. Similarly, I have created outstate Maharashtra, and you can see here I have selected the source state as Maharashtra, and then I have ticked here is interstate. So in this way I have to create the tax category. And then the last step what we have to follow here, then we have to create, let's say I can create the sale tax and charges template. So I'm just going to the sale tax and charges template list, and you can see here the system automatically creates like in state and out state. So here I have what I have done, I just renamed that, and let's say outstate output in state Maharashtra. So this is my sale tax and charges template. So this is my title name. Okay, and here I have entered a category as in state Maharashtra, and then you can see I just selected output CGST and HGST and not any rate I have defined, because this rate will automatically get captured based on my atom selection. Okay, similarly if you see here I have created output outstate Maharashtra. Okay, and there I have just selected output IGST with no rate. So if any rate will come in the transaction, the system will automatically understand the party's addresses, and based on that it will give us me amount and the GST calculation. So in this way I have to create the sale tax and charges template, and similarly I also have to create with respect to input my purchase tax and charges template. So the step what we have done, we have created item tax template, then we have created tax category, and then we have to create the sale tax and the purchase tax template, right? So necessary configuration has to be required in all these three types of category. After doing that, now let's see the last step what we have to do. So the last step what we can do is we can generate the GST complaint invoice. So let's say we will create one of the sales invoice here. So I can directly go into the selling module and can do a sales transaction, or I can directly from the awesome toolbar, I can search the new invoice, sales invoice, and that window will automatically get fetched. Okay, now that will get displayed. Now let's see, I'm just clicking on new sales invoice. Okay, now this is my sales series invoice number. Okay, and the customer. Now I will be selecting a customer. Let's say I'm selecting a customer as BPS Company Private Limited. The payment due date, that will be automatically fetched, or you can change the payment due date. And if you see here, address and contact, that is, this party is also located in Maharashtra. That is why it has been there, the GST number and everything. And I am also located in the Maharashtra. Now what I will do, I will take two items of multiple rates. Let's say I have one Dell laptop. Okay, and then I will select a one quantity of 45,000. Similarly, I can select the Lenovo laptop. Okay, so Lenovo I paid. Now if you see here, in one of the item master, I have taken the 18% and other of the item I have taken the 5%. If you want to see, you just check it out by just pressing arrow mark at the downside on the left hand side, and then you can get here, that is output GST 18%. So on Dell laptop, my GST rate is 18%. Similarly on Lenovo iPad, my GST rate is 5%. You can see here 5%. So based on that, the GST calculation will get happen. You can see output SGST and CGST, because since the customer is also in the Maharashtra, so that is why since it is the intra-state or within the state transition, that is why it is directly fetching out SGST and CGST, and nothing had to select anything. So that's very important. Now we can match here whether this calculation is happening correctly or not. So let me open one Excel here, and then we can check it whether this calculation is happening correctly or not. Okay, so let's see. Okay, now this is 18% and 5%. So my one of the item is 45,000. So if you see here, 45,000 is of 18%. Okay, so I will be selecting here 45,000. So if you can see here, it's coming, it's 8,100. Similarly, if I can select 56,000, and you can say 2,800, so the total is coming 10,900. So you can see here the total taxes is coming as 10,900. So in this way, it is giving us the exact calculation with the multiple tax rates. So this makes an easy calculation, and it makes automatic fetching of GST tax rate and gives us an accurate calculation of GST. So I just save it. Okay, and after saving it, it will be in a draft mode, and I can submit this, and that is getting my sales invoice get automatically, oh sorry, the sales invoice get submitted here. Now if you see here, if you see the invoices here, okay, or I can select here, let's say instead of, because this is a fixed assets item, so what I can do, I can also select here, so I can add one more, let's say yeah. So if you can see here, let me select here, which I already done it. Yeah, so CPU and Lenovo iPad. Okay, so that item I will take it again. Let's say I will just create a new sales invoice. Okay, I can select a customer again, let's say BPS. Okay, and then I can select an atom master here. Let's say CPU, one quantity 12,000, and let's say I'm selecting here Lenovo iPad, right? And then I will be selecting 1 into, let's say, 1 quantity into 56,000. Now if you want to check here what is the GST calculation, I can again show you, and we can work on the Excel. Let's say one of the quantity of 18%. Now if you see here, my Lenovo iPad is of 5%, right? So that calculation is coming as 2800, and my CPU is of 18%. So if I select here 18%, okay, so it's coming as 4960. Okay, so let's see here what is our calculation is getting here. So you can see here, yes, we are getting an exact calculation of 4960. So in this way, the ERPNext makes us simple, and it gets the automatic fetching of GST calculation from the atom tax template. Okay, so I just save these invoices, and then I can submit this, and I can, yes. So in this way, the sales invoice get submitted here, and you can see in the unpaid stage. And if you want, you can just click on the print menu here, and you can see here your GST compliant invoices will get created. So this is a standard what we can say is invoice format which ERPNext creates with all the GST relevant information. So this makes us helpful, or even you can select here if you want here the GST tax invoice. So if you select a GST tax invoice, you can get the tax invoice with all the GST relevant and the HSN wise summary here. So you can see here my GST compliant invoices get automatically created here. Okay, so this is the way how ERPNext can generate the GST compliant invoices, and it helps us to comply with the GST compliances. Okay, so that was the purpose of the video of showing here how ERPNext helps us to meet the tax compliances or GST tax compliances to the organization and the company. Similarly, by doing this, you will be also getting here, and you will be able to extract multiple type of GST reports. So if I go to my accounting module, you can see here I will be getting all the GST related reports like GST HSN code wise, GSTR1. So if I click on GSTR1, you can see all my sales invoices will be there. You can select a period, and with that I will be getting all the fields here like GSTR number, receiver's name, invoice number. You can see here, okay, the invoice date, invoice value, the place of supply, okay, reverse charge, yes or no, e-commerce, and all these things, and then rate, taxable value, sales amount. And if you want to add this in this report, anything, you can just click on menu bar, and with this menu bar you can add any of the particular column if you want to add, and that you can customize your GST reports as per your requirement. Okay, so you can see different fields we are getting here. You have to just select any of the field which is required as per your requirement, or which is required to provide for the GST relevant reports. So you can select here any of the column, and automatically that will fetch here and will provide you as desired reports as per your requirement. So this is how we can generate the GSTI reports, and that is all inbuilt reports here. Only you have to just do the transactions properly, and that transaction will automatically fetch into this report. So we have a GSTR1, we have a GSTR2 and 3B, even we have the GSTR sales register. So if I click on the sales register, you can just change the period, whatever the period you require it. Okay, you can add the customer, and different filters options are provided. Similarly, you are having a invoices number, customer, GST number, and all these fields you can get it from the GST sales register. So you can see here how ERPNext give us with all such reports with very easily and without any complexity, and just give us the reports which we can just file our GST compliances and returns. So this is all about the video which we have presented today. So let just navigate again into our presentation. So we have seen how we can set up the GST. So let's recap here. So first of all, we have done the configuration of chart of accounts. Then we have done the GST setting, and then after that we have updated our company and client addresses. Also we have mapped HSN code in the atom masters, and then we have created atom tax template, tax categories, and also we have created the purchase tax and the charges template, and then we are ready to generate the GST complaint invoices. So this is the way, or the steps which we can follow here to set up our GST. Now let's move ahead. So what are the benefits and the outcomes here? So it helps in the smooth generation of the GST invoices. It gives us the error-free calculation of the GST, and the GST reports becomes very easy and handy, so that we can extract the same and can provide for the GST relevant compliances. Similarly, it makes us simple to generate the invoices. So this is the benefits and the outcome that ERPNext gives us. Also, it increases the efficiency and the productivity of the organization. So for any inquiries or for any queries or doubts, you can just contact our number here, which is mentioned in the slides here. You can just note down here, or you can also mail it us inquiries@soindia.com, or you can WhatsApp at the number. Okay, and we also conducted different events on our different software like Tally and ERPNext. So you can also enjoy the event on www.soindia.com/events, where you can register and can take a benefit of upcoming webinars and what we can say is presentation here. Okay, and also we have started the new starter pack implementation, which has been mentioned here. So for any further information, just please contact this number, and we will be happy to help you and to assist you in implementation of ERPNext. So thank you very much. Thanks for watching this video and giving your valuable time.